Hello everyone, on this episode of Interviewing Plushtubers, our guest will be one of the biggest FNAF plushtubers out there, SLYP1E. How are you doing today, bro?
How's it going, everyone? I'm doing pretty good. Nice Saturday morning.
Well, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm doing well as well. I think we can just start, which is on this question, we can get to the roots of SLYP1E in a way, which is you're a fairly OG FNAF plushtuber, as a lot of others came after you. But I gotta ask, how did you get introduced into Five Nights at Freddy's, as well as the plush community, and which plushtubers would you say inspired you?
That's a great question. So I got introduced to Five Nights at Freddy's back in 2014 when I was in 5th grade. I did hip hop dance that my parents signed me up for back when I was a kid, and my dance teacher and a lot of my buddies at the dance school were talking about this Five Nights at Freddy's game, and at first I thought it was something completely different than it was because I just knew what the name was. I thought it was something completely different, so I went home and I looked it up, and I'm like, whoa, this is like a scary game. And I like really didn't like scary games because I would actually poop myself playing Slender back in the day. And then my friends at school were talking about it, and they were playing it on their phone, and I was like, yo, this is really cool. And so I got into the first game, and then shortly after I got into the series, the second game came out. And once the second game came out, that kind of sealed my interest on the franchise, and I really thought it was awesome. And I always, thought FNAF was cool. And from then on, I would watch content like speed edits and stuff like that of FNAF characters and clay videos and gameplay videos and stuff like that. And then it wasn't until the year of 2016, 2 years later, that I went to Colorado for a summer vacation. I grew up in Colorado. I live in Arizona now, and I moved here in 2012. But I grew up there, and my buddy, my best friend from when I moved up there, Matt, he had started a channel with his friend Preston, and they just made Mario plush videos, and one of their videos was a Mario plush video. It was like Luigi going to the FNAF pizzeria, and they got 35,000 views on their video, and I was like, holy crap, you can like get views off of this stuff? And so I got really intrigued, and I was into it too, because I was like, I've always played with toys. Like I was like every other kid growing up. I would sit in my room from 7 a.m. to the middle of the afternoon playing with my Legos and making up my own story and lore and fun things like that. And so I went home and I looked up FNAF plushies because I was trying to find their channel. I only saw their channel off my friend's phone. I didn't have a phone at the time. And immediately what came up were things like Mario Muffet Adventures, Travis Plush Productions, and Pyro Shark. I got really into Pyro Shark. I really liked Pyro Shark, and then his channel got deleted. He deleted his channel because he just wasn't doing it anymore. And I got really upset about that because I really was into his videos. And I thought his content was really cool, which is what a lot of my earlier content was based off of. Like, the disco ball is very reminiscent of my first video. The disco party is very reminiscent of my first video, the juice bar. But I also got really into Mario Muffet Adventures with all their cool sets that they make out of wood and their custom plushies and stuff like that. They were a massive inspiration. I would come home from school. I was a weirdo, guys. I would come home from school in 7th grade and sit in the living room and watch Mario Muffet Adventures for 3 hours on the TV. I was like 13 years old in middle school watching Mario Muffet Adventures. So like don't think you're weird for doing that. There's a lot of people that do stuff like that, and I was one of them. And eventually I just got inspired, and I did a summer math camp once in 2016, and I told my mom, hey, if I in the best person in this class, will you buy me 4 FNAF plushies? And she said yes, and she bought me 4 bootleg FNAF plushies. I didn't care. They looked awesome. They're bootleg Sanshi ones. And that's where my channel started. I made episode 1, the juice bar, and I had a lot of fun with it. I continued to make videos. It wasn't until the following Christmas that I got Funko plushies, and that's kind of where things took off in 2017.
That's very interesting to hear. You're a good storyteller, I would say, but I mean, we got 10 questions, and yeah, I don't know, but that is a very interesting story. I would definitely say that it's a good backstory for a Plush channel. But yeah, I feel like we gotta address this. You make a lot of viral YouTube shorts that have helped you gain 400,000 subscribers in like the past 4 months. How did that, as well as all of your other recent growth, feel in general, and what is the next milestone you are trying to achieve?
Okay, so I'll say this. It feels like this. I blew up in 2017 off YouTube. I had 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I blew up in July of 2017 off of the sister location plush series. I then reached 100,000 subscribers shortly after in 2018. That's when I started making custom plushies and doing collabs with other YouTubers like 5 Nights at Frokies, Travis Plush Productions, Masa777 Plushie Productions, other well-known plush content creators like that. That's when I started going on trips, like going to VidCon and going to Japan and stuff like that, kind of enjoying the fruits of my success on YouTube. Shortly after that, well, not shortly after that, literally as that was going on, that summer of 2018, Fortnite came into my life. And I got really, really into it, like really, really into it, more than I should have. And growing up, I didn't have a lot of video games. I worded that wrong. We had a lot of video games growing up. I loved the Wii. I had Xbox, GameCube, Wii U, all sorts of things like that. But I was grounded a lot because I would get in trouble in school. And so my parents would always ground me, and I'd be grounded for like 6 months on end. So I had nothing better to do but to make videos. And so it was at this point that I wasn't really grounded anymore. And so I was playing a lot of Fortnite. And what that did in turn is it made me burn out really bad. Oh wait, 1 second.
A few moments later.
Okay, so where was I? Fortnite. So I got really into Fortnite, and what that caused is my passion for FNAF plush tubing and using my free time to enjoy that as a hobby turned into it being overrun by me playing Fortnite. And so, that was really unfortunate, because as fun as it was at the time, it really screwed me over, because what that did is I stopped uploading as much. And what happens when you stop uploading as much is you get less active channel traffic, and viewers start to leave and move on to other channels. And so it was a very, very slow process, but viewers did start to leave. 2019, my channel pretty much completely died out. I'd say I stopped uploading. I uploaded 2 Fortnite videos to try and change my channel, because I was not enjoying making FNAF plushie content anymore. So I was like, you know what? I need to change my channel into something I want to do. And that's very few times has been done properly. The only person I'd say I've seen that happen successfully with in my own life is DerpyZ. He made FNAF plush content, and now he makes VR chat anime content, which gets amazing views, better than anything on my channel right now. But so that killed off my channel, and what that did is it ruined my mental health. I had horrible mental health. I was depressed for up until I think like 3 years almost, up until this year. I kind of had some success in 2020 with my Piggy series and my SCP series, but those quickly died out because I was having a hard time staying on trends, and I was still, prioritizing other things over my career, which is what YouTube was at this point. It was my full-time job. And so it wasn't until the beginning of this year that I really started to realize. For the longest time, I thought that content creation and blowing up on YouTube was just luck. It's not. It's all numbers. It's literally all numbers and statistics and algorithms and trends. That's all it is. I got lucky is what happened. I got lucky because I coincidentally was doing something that got a lot of views, and I didn't know it. I was just enjoying it because I was a kid. And so I started to realize that pattern. And so I started to look at my older content and started to question, what made this popular? why am I not getting as many views as I am before? What made people watch SLYP1E for? I started having to ask really hard questions like, who is SLYP1E? What is this channel? If I was a kid, would I watch these videos? And a lot of times I would ask myself those questions and I'd be like, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't watch these giant lore heavy videos. There's an audience for that, but if I was the general kid clicking around on YouTube, I wouldn't do that. And so I started crafting my channel into something new. I started something called Project Rebirth. I set a definitive upload schedule to try and flip my channel around once and for all and change it. And with the success of Ruin coming out, on top of me starting shorts, and really getting into shorts using audios and stuff like that with the help of a couple other people like Eski, kind of just figuring out what is the meta, what is trending, what is in the algorithm right now, using audios and trying to just ride meme trends and stuff like that, and basically just trying to get as much content as I humanly possibly can out in 1 week. That's when my channel turned around. I started getting millions of views on my shorts. The Ruin series blew up because Ruin was big news at the time. It was July, everyone was out of school, and so a lot of people were watching YouTube, and so that turned my channel around, and I can tell you that was the greatest feeling anyone can ever experience. You go from being depressed for 3 years, like actually physically ill depressed because you don't know what to do with yourself. You feel like you're constantly blaming yourself for ruining your career because you decided to prioritize video games over your job when you can do both. And then you finally get that big payoff, that big release, and it was just amazing. I was checking YouTube every second of the day. I was constantly looking at my YouTube studio and studying these analytics. And from there, I've kind of just figured out a way to keep this going and a way to gain numbers. So yeah, going from being hard stuck 500,000 subscribers to 1 million in the matter of 3 months is mind blowing. It really is. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I see. Well, yeah, getting grounded for 6 months, that seems a bit extreme, but I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I had very strict parents.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know, but you're gonna turn like a usually 25 to 30 minute long interview into like 50 minutes. But I mean, it's very interesting to listen to talk to you. Listening, I don't know. You definitely seem passionate about what you speak. But I don't know. You upload fairly often and make shorts as well and have been doing so for a good amount of time. What would you say is your favorite part of content creation, and what are the main factors of what keep you motivated after all this time?
What keeps me motivated is 1000% the viewers. Seeing people still enjoying my content after all these years just puts a smile on my face. There's nothing more that I want than to, you know, inspire other people. I feel like that's what I'm here for. I feel like everyone on Earth has a purpose. Everyone's born with a purpose, and it's up to you to find out what your purpose is. And I feel like my purpose is to inspire people and get people's brains moving and show people what's possible with just the most minute forms of content creation. And you know, I enjoy putting my stories out on the internet. Some I'm really happy with, and in some videos I wish I worked on a little bit longer. But my favorite form of, or my favorite part of creating content definitely has to be that moment when you're in the shower and you're having writer's block and you just can't think of a video. You just can't think of it. You need to get a video out this weekend, or 2 videos, or whatever your upload schedule is, and you just can't think of it, and then it hits you. And you're just like, oh, that's an amazing video idea. Holy crap. Or you're laying in bed and you just can't sleep. And then you think of an amazing video idea and you stay up for 2 hours writing a mini script or whatever. That is my favorite part of content creation, because that's what gets me inspired and motivated to get out of bed and grab my camera, grab my plushies, make a set, and start filming. I feel like that's definitely the hardest part. But once you get it, it's the best.
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah, inspiring people is definitely It's definitely an important thing. I would like to do that as well at some point. But yeah, I'm obviously a plush tuber still, even though I do interviews sometimes. But well, obviously you have a personal life like everyone else. How would you say you balance content creation with other commitments going on in your life, such as like work or studies before, like personal hobbies or whatever?
So for me, luckily YouTube is my full-time job. And so, you know, how that works is since last October, for pretty much every single week, I've been uploading twice a week with like very few exceptions, maybe like 6 weeks out of the year that I haven't done that, the sporadic weeks. But I've been uploading 2 times a week since last October. And so it just, you know, it feels like a job. I work on my videos for 3 to 4 days a week, filming, editing, thumbnail making, and then uploading and doing all the social media stuff. You know, even sitting down working on shorts for a couple hours and just spamming 10 shorts out at one time. Yeah, I balance it like that. I try and have my job not take up too much of my personal life. So I balance it usually 50-50. 50% of the week I'm working on content and, you know, bringing in money. And the second half of the week, I am just relaxing, hanging out with my girlfriend, my friends, playing video games, going grocery shopping, things of that sort. I think it's very important to find that balance. And yeah, definitely setting an upload schedule for yourself to keep yourself accountable is, at least for me, I have ADHD, so that's the only way I can really hold myself accountable with how bad I procrastinate. So, you know, having that upload schedule, you know, has those viewers in the comments being like, SLYP1E, where's the video this weekend? You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, that definitely helps me from just going, oh, I'll just do it next week. Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. I just want to play this game today, or I just want to watch TV today. It's yeah, holding yourself accountable and finding that equilibrium, that balance. It's extremely important.
Respect. I definitely see that's a good way. I'm glad that you have a way to manage this. I think some plush tubers might be struggling with that sometimes, so I definitely say this is good advice. But yeah, well, you've been on YouTube for over half of a decade, and obviously have learned a lot of new skills and gained a lot of knowledge, whether, you know, editing style, filming style, making thumbnails, or just whatever. But I'd assume you didn't have all of those skills back when you started, or at least not as good. So I gotta ask, is there any skill or piece of knowledge you wish you would have learned earlier in your YouTube career than you did, and what would that be?
A piece of knowledge I would have learned earlier in my YouTube career, or I wish I would have learned. A lot of this stuff, it's hard. Obviously, I wish I would have learned trends in upload schedules earlier in my career, but I was a child, so I can't blame myself for that. And, you know, that's something you learn as you mature as a content creator. But that definitely would have helped, especially in 2018. I think my channel would have been significantly bigger than it is now if I would have understood upload schedules and stuck to it in 2018. But what a lot of people don't understand is, like, you know, I'm sure the average person's response is, or the average content creator's response is, oh, I wish I learned how to do thumbnails or being a better video editor. You really, especially in the plushie space, you really don't need that. There's videos on my channel, for example, the Stay Calm music video, my second most popular video ever. It doesn't even have a thumbnail. It's just a YouTube pre-made thumbnail. It's a captured screenshot from the video. If the content within your video is good enough, you don't need a good thumbnail. Thumbnails are at the end of the day a way to capture the essence of your video, or even clickbait your video, which I don't do a ton. Yeah, no, I would say just learning algorithms and keeping to an upload schedule. I think that's the most important thing for young creators, because you hear every content creator say it, but I can assure you, I've been to a bajillion content creator seminars. I have talked to bajillion giant content creators in my lifetime. I've had a conversation with Mr. Beast. Like the absolute key to success on literally anything, especially content creation, is consistency. Because if you keep going, you will not only be putting more content out, getting your content out there and showing your commitment, you will be gaining experience, which will in turn make your content better. If you're not looking back on your videos from 3 months ago and going, oh, I could have fixed this, I could have fixed this, I could have done this better, I could have done this, then you need to start doing that. You need to start, then you're not improving. You have to be constantly improving. And you know, consistency is the way to do that. Yeah, that's my answer to that.
Yeah, that's a very long answer. Not long. That's the wrong word. This was an appropriate length answer. There's no appropriate length. You can answer for as long as you'd like. Well, obviously not an hour, but you know what I mean. But
yeah, next question I'll answer for an hour.
I think it's a good answer. And how did you even talk to Mr. Beast, anyways?
I got really, okay, so like the 2019, the year that my channel kind of died off, I got really into commentary YouTube, and so I actually made a second YouTube channel called Lumi. You can still find it, it's still up. Videos are all still up. Lumie. It's a capital E at the end, it's weird. But I got really into the commentary creator space. I've been watching Mr. Beast since he's had 30,000 subs. Like I knew Jimmy way back then. I'm not saying that I'm even associates with him. Like I don't talk to him now, but I've talked to him once. I met a bunch of content creators through my buddy Loki. He also made commentary. He had like 200,000 subs, and he introduced me to a bunch of other YouTubers that had millions of subs, and I thought it was really cool at the time. But you know, just sitting in these group calls with these people and listening to the way they talk and the way they work around their daily lives and their content and how they talk about making content was just really eye-opening to me. And it didn't exactly hit me back then, but you know, I'm sitting here today with what I know about YouTube and all the things I know, and based off of my success this summer, and going, wow, if I would have just listened to them back then, I could have had this success years ago, and I wouldn't have had to really worry about this. But you know, it was getting past the belief of it was getting past the really hard idea that I could be doing something wrong. I couldn't possibly be doing something wrong. No, it's when you get to the point that you have to tell yourself, you know, you're doing something wrong. You got to figure out what's going on. Your content can't get any better, or your content can't get better until you realize that you're the one messing it up and not doing something right, which is something I had to ask myself a million times until I could finally answer it.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of cool that you got to talk to Mr. Beast, but I'm
yes,
sure
he's very nice. He's very nice.
Yeah, I'd imagine he seems very nice. But, well, you have over 1 million subscribers, and I mean, you reached 1 million subscribers recently, you know, congrats. But that means you get a lot of comments on your videos, shorts, live streams, community tab posts, and everywhere. So I gotta assume you get some criticism and also some hate comments too. How would you say is the best way to handle criticism, and do you have any methods on dealing with hate comments?
Oh man, this is a hard one because I still don't. I know, but I'm really bad at it. See, when I get hate comments, I just you know, I come from the days of the internet where, you know, it's like Call of Duty voice chat. If someone says something to you, you gotta go off the rails. You gotta have a whole fight. But when you're a content creator, you just can't do that. You gotta shut up, which is really annoying because, you know, if someone says something that's really offensive to you, or that you just don't like, or that's just like, hey man, you're being kind of a hypocrite, or like, you don't gotta say that. It's really hard not to fight back, especially when you work really hard on content and someone criticizes it with no reason. I think criticism is absolutely necessary, but you know, there's a lot of comments that aren't criticism that claim to be, and they're just hate. So it's really hard because you'll get 99 comments of really positive feedback and people saying how much they love your content, and then you get that one you get that one where people, or where it's the one guy going, yeah, this is trash, you should die. You know, it's like it ruins your day. Like, just reading that, it's like, wow, like someone doesn't like me for no reason. Like, I don't know what I did, or maybe they have a reason. And so it takes everything in you to not respond to that comment. If I could go back, I've gotten in a lot of controversies and dramas in my career on YouTube. If I could go back and talk to the 2017 me, I would tell myself, and this is what I tell Esky. Esky is my buddy. I helped him blow up on YouTube this summer as well. He's got 200,000 subscribers now. He was stuck at like 1,000 for 8 years, and he finally blew up off some Roblox content. And this is what I tell him: pretend like you were the most delirious, nicest person ever, and you couldn't possibly say anything bad, because no matter what, Esky had some controversy where someone uploaded a video saying that he was copying content and stuff like that. He didn't respond to the video at all. He made a statement not naming the user at all in his community tab, and was just completely mature and responsible about it. Yeah, like that's just literally, it's just you acting like the nicest person ever, like making the person feel bad for being mean to you, essentially. Like, if someone says, this video is so terrible, you should honestly remove it, comment something like, I'm really sorry you feel that way. Hopefully you'll enjoy my future content. You know, just like something super almost condescending, but like, you know, dumb. Just something really, really dumb, or just not responding at all, because hate will go away if you don't respond to it. If you don't give it attention, you can't get canceled if you don't give it attention. It's just, that's something I've learned from being in the spotlight. But yeah, no, it's hard. Criticism is really hard, especially for people that have never experienced it before, or people that blow up as young as I did. You know, I was 14 when I blew up on YouTube. I didn't know how to handle criticism, so I immediately, you know, would just try and defend myself, because it was hurtful. It's really hurtful when you have thousands of people saying how much they hate you or how much they want you to die. It affects your mental health. It really does. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's honestly fair, but yeah, hate comments, I usually either ignore them, or I don't know, just if they don't make sense, because sometimes they don't make sense. Sometimes they're
100%
really not, they're not grammatically correct at all. Like, there's like millions of grammar errors. Like, you can tell sometimes there's just a young child. So to those, I usually just either ignore them, say something funny in response, or just I don't know. But
you can also just, like, there's no shame in deleting them. You can delete them if you want, or you know, all comments add to your engagement. You can be like, hey, thanks for the engagement.
Yeah, that is
like, they're literally getting you more views by commenting.
Yeah, that is actually true, although I don't know how much that works on community tab posts and like other things, but regardless, yeah, that's true. But yeah, obviously now you're still a young guy and haven't been doing this for like 12, 15, 18, or however many years that some other content creators have been doing this for. But I feel like this was worth to ask, which is, when or if you have to like end your channel, what would you imagine is like the perfect end to it? Like, either like a movie or big finale, or just a big collab project, or just something like that. I don't know.
That's a good question. I've thought about this a lot in the past, because you know, I've had numerous times in the past where I've tried ending my channel or thought about it, and obviously it didn't work. But you know, I've thought about good ways to end off my channel on a good note, if that's, you know, where if that's where my channel ends up. Right now I'm trying to turn my channel into more of a company, with all the makeshift stuff and releasing merch and plushies and stuff like that. But if I were to end off my channel, my original plan was going to be the reset timeline, which is, you know, at the end of Last Days season 5, there was going to be some crazy ending. I'm not going to try and spoil it too much, because I don't know if I'm going to use this script yet. Haven't decided, still working on the end of season 3. But I was going to end it with, basically, they go back in time and my channel is a continuous loop. So it never truly ends, but the uploads stop. and it continues and continues. So you could watch the channel over and over again, and the story just continues, but it's over, you know. So it's just I've thought of a lot of ways to end it off. I don't want to ever be one of those corny YouTubers that just uploads the goodbye video. I think that's really cringe and honestly really messed up to your fans. I really hated Pyroshark's response to him leaving YouTube. He literally just made a video saying how annoying his fans are and how stupid it was, when I think that's very immature, and like, you made money off of them and you're gonna call them annoying. Like that's really messed up, dude. I thought that was like really dumb. But you know, I definitely would want to do it in some dramatic way. And you know, if I were to ever leave YouTube is not going anywhere. It's not going to be a situation where I would never come back. But for now, I don't see myself leaving YouTube within the next 3 years. So you guys got at least you guys got at least 3 more years of me. But you know, I really don't see myself going anywhere right now. But yeah, if I were to end it off, it would be with some dramatic ending to my lore and everything like that, or handing it off to somebody else.
That's fair, honestly, yeah. But yeah, that's an interesting way of ending it off. I think SML was like, if he had like a surgery that he had to do like a long time ago, that he wasn't sure if he was gonna survive, so he ended the Mario and Luigi Stupid and Dumb Adventures. I don't know if you really ever watched it, but in a way that they go back in time, and then it would be like a loop basically. But I mean, he survived, so I mean, he made a new season, and then it turns out apparently that they didn't go back in time and went to a different universe or something. Yeah.
Here's what I have. If I were to, I think every big content creator should prepare for this. If I were to ever randomly spontaneously die, knock on wood, I have 2 videos that are sitting on my channel, privated for any of my family members or girlfriend to upload. And one of them is a message to my fans. The other one is an ending to my story. So that can leave some questions on the video. People can theorize about whatever that could possibly be. But if that were to ever happen, it's there and it's waiting. I'm prepared for it. I won't leave you guys hanging.
Yeah, that feels unexpected, but I mean, it's a good in case scenario type of thing. But yeah, all right. Well, you started out your channel back when you were a young teenager, and now have grown up while making videos in a somewhat way. But how would you say your channel has impacted your life, and maybe even like the people around you, like family members or just anyone?
Well, in you know, in many ways, I never saw myself doing YouTube. I tried a lot growing up to do YouTube because it's something I always wanted to do. I thought it was so cool how someone can just be a normal person and overnight, you know, have all these fans and success off of people just enjoying content that they make, them being them. So you know, it's definitely changed a lot. Like, you know, so in high school, I graduated high school in 2022, and throughout all my sophomore, junior, and senior year, my school knew about my channel, so they allowed me to do half days, so I could leave school at 12 o'clock and I could go home and work on content and do whatever I wanted, and it would count as an elective credit. So that changed my life in some way, because that helped me continue to do content. You know, it changed how I approach school, because I've always struggled in school. I think it's something that every content creator talks about, is that they struggle in school in some way, because, you know, not everyone learns the same. I don't learn the same as a lot of the kids in that school, or in any school. So, you know, it's just like, that changed my life. I don't know if I wasn't doing YouTube if I go to college, but I definitely didn't do any extra school after high school. I plan to in the future, maybe do a trade or do something in the science field, but that's way down the line. But yeah, no, I wouldn't have the life I have right now if it wasn't for YouTube. I simply wouldn't. I'd probably be working minimum wage or going to school in California for film or something like that. I really don't know what I would be doing right now, but it wouldn't be this if it wasn't for YouTube.
Yeah, I understand. I feel like a lot of other people have said that either they would be like working a normal job or just something. But yeah, that makes sense in a way. But that's pretty cool of your school to do, to let you have half days. Very, very, very good. I don't think a lot of other people get that. At least I don't know.
No, they don't.
Yeah. But
unfortunately.
You've grown a lot on your channel and other social medias, these past few years. Especially this year, like you doubled your entire sub count this year. From looking from the beginning of the year to like right now. But you got to be one of the only FNAF plushtubers to reach 1 million subscribers so far. You're doing extremely well, so I gotta ask, what are your future goals later on, and in general, where do you see yourself in your channel like 2 to 4 years?
Well, in around 2 to 4 years is when I should be finishing up my Last Days series. I really have been struggling to write an ending for the series. I really just can't figure it out yet, so it's something that's just gonna have to evolve with time. Obviously we're gonna be getting a couple more FNAF movies, so I definitely will be working on that content and any sort of FNAF project that comes out. Since Bruin did so well, I gotta get on Help Wanted 2 when it comes out this next month. And I really don't know. Life throws weird curveballs at you, and things happen all the time. I could not be on YouTube. Who knows? Something might happen. Maybe the world won't even exist by then. But I hope I'm in a similar, meaning not any worse of a place than I'm in now. I hope I'm doing better than I am now, or the same that I am now. I would be fine with that. I'm making, I'm getting enough views and stuff like that right now where I'm kind of just comfortable. I don't think I've ever, other than 2018, I don't think I've ever been comfortable on YouTube, and right now I do just feel very comfortable. And I would just, I'd like to stay this way as much as possible, as long as I can, but life goes up and down. It's a pendulum, it swings, and so you never know.
Yeah, but yeah, would you like to have like some milestone subscribers, want to reach 2 million or 3 million or total channel views or something like that, or just?
Well, yeah, that would be the next goal. 2 million. That would be absolutely insane. My current goal right now is to pass Gabe's World. That's my mission. I'm gonna pass him. I have to. It's my mission. I have to.
I won't ask further on that mission, but I don't know. I don't know. I hope you do get subscribers. You can continue growing and stuff. But I don't know. Well, now let's get to the final question, which is, what would you say to any aspiring content creators that want to be as popular as you?
Well, first ask yourself this question. Why do you want to be popular? Is it because of the views? Is it because of the fame? Is it because you want that check mark next to your name? You gotta ask yourself, are you wanting to be popular for the right reasons? Do you want to inspire people? Do you want to be able to have the finances or the success to help people or to help yourself later on in life? So you have to ask yourself, you have to ask yourself that question first. And then you said what would I tell people if they Sorry, I just lost track.
What would you say to any aspiring content creators that want to be as big as you? This is the final question to everyone that I ask. It's been that way.
Yes. Okay. So if you wanna make it, I highly recommend, and this is, you know, it's not, this isn't 2016 anymore. This isn't 2010. You gotta study. It takes work. It takes education. I don't, and I'm not saying you have to go to school or anything like that. You know, I don't have an education. I literally just graduated from high school. That's it. But it takes studying. You have to go find a million channels. Just go through, make a list of a ton of successful YouTube channels, relevant ones, like newer channels that blew up recently, and see what they're doing and try and implement that into a plush format. And I will also say this. I see a lot of people that make plush videos, and that want to get bigger, but you know, lack the means to do so. A lot of the problems with their videos, and this is something that I critiqued a lot of YouTubers I watched before I started YouTube. Open up a window. You get some natural lighting in there. Like most people have you know, iPhone 13 and above, or you know, Samsungs. Sorry, my cat's in the background. She's meowing. You know, those things have crazy cameras on them now. You know, I just get a good camera. And most phones have them. Use your mom's phone, whatever. Have natural lighting. So don't record in the middle of the night unless you're going to be using a flash or you have a nice lighting setup. Don't do that. Open up a window. Have good lighting. Use, you know, color correction in your editing software. So, you know, add a little bit of saturation, a little bit of exposure, a little contrast. Make your video look visually appealing. Then once you've accomplished the visual aspect of plush videos, then you will move on to getting better at script writing. Luckily these days we have things like ChatGPT, which you know, I used to write my videos and it would take forever. Now I'm kind of just like, all right, I have the general idea for my video. I got to get this out this weekend. So I'm going to plug this in the ChatGPT, make me a nice script. I get the script from ChatGPT, edit it a little bit, correct it, and then that's my video. I don't do that for all videos. Actually a majority of my videos, I just improv. A lot of people don't know that I literally just improv, but like on some of my more lore heavy videos, I have to have it all written down. Just kind of, you know, to not make any mistakes, make sure there's no loopholes or plot holes or anything like that. But yeah, so focus on visuals first, then focus on writing. Once your content is at a point where you think it is good enough to blow up, once your content is at a point where it's good enough to get big, start learning algorithms and learning numbers and why people are blowing up, what makes people blow up, what thumbnails get views, what titles get views, and study the absolute crap out of shorts, because shorts are the number one way you are going to blow up on YouTube these days. That is just an absolute fact. Everyone knows it. Mr. Beast knows it. Literally every big content creator these days knows about shorts. If you are not making shorts, you are not going to be as successful as your peers. If you want to blow up, you need to be making shorts. Think of shorts as a billboard for your channel. Think of shorts as an advertisement. You're uploading a short. Your short is going to get into the algorithm 9 out of 10 times. If it's a good short, it's gonna blow up. Maybe at least over 100,000 views, 50,000, whatever. You're going to get a significant amount of views on that short. Use that short to gather people from all around the internet to your channel. Redirect them. Put it in the pinned comment. Hey, go check out my channel. I have 1,000 plus plush videos. I have 20 plush videos that I just uploaded. They're all really good. I really want you to check them out. Add a related video. You can only do this on the computer, on PC, YouTube Studio, or just any desktop. Add a related video. It's where you can click on a video from the shorts, since shorts doesn't let you add links and comments anymore. Use your shorts to get people onto your content. My recent FNAF plush movie video got like 50 to 80,000 views from shorts alone, because I uploaded like 5 trailers with a related video, and so I got like 80,000 views just from shorts alone. Use shorts as an advertisement for your hard work content, because there's a lot of people on YouTube these days, so it's really hard to get even the best content out to the viewers. So you need to use shorts as an advantage to get that out there. And luckily, we have so many short form content platforms now that you can double down on this. Upload those trailers or upload your funny shorts to TikTok, to Instagram, to Facebook. Link all of those accounts to your YouTube and cycle in people from those applications to your YouTube. That will get you so many views that it's unbelievable. That is the secret to how I blew up this summer. That is all I did. I just took absolute advantage of shorts and used them as ads and just cycled viewers in from every single direction.
Well, that was some pretty good advice, I'd say. I don't know. A lot of different people give different advice, but yeah, shorts seem to work out for a good amount of people. But yeah, thanks for the advice for everyone. This probably will be the last, not the last interview, but the longest interview that I've done, since the second longest was like 30 minutes. Alright, this was fun having you on. Do you have anything else to say before we end the interview?
If you're passionate about YouTube, it's just a matter of time. That's it.
Okay.
You just be open to learning. You have to be learning, or else you will not be able to do anything. You have to learn. Just be open to learning one new thing every day, and eventually you'll find yourself getting success.
Well, that was SLYP, everyone.